Hello, I'm Bill Burr, and this is the Wired Autocomplete interview.
Hi, Burr!
You know, my favorite thing is when they say, you know, he has offbeat good looks. That means if you weren't famous, you'd be ugly.
Stop!
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, what is Bill Burr's best special? This is like saying, which child do you like the most? Sophie's Choice. I loved Paper Tiger because I was in England, and I loved the challenge of that. And I loved Red Rocks because it wasn't even what I did, it was the crowd. And what I loved was how it was mic'd, you could hear the crowd. And if you can get through my jokes on the special, just listen to the audience. I would just say every once in a while I would say something really random and stupid. And people would laugh at the ridiculousness of it, but you always hear like one guy just go like, yeah! It wasn't a joke, it's just like, yeah, that's what I think that too, that makes sense to me.
This is gonna be good.
I did.
I told you it would be good.
Okay. Yeah, we weren't sure, but anything Bill Burr,
and
dude.
this is part one.
It is part one.
Yes.
Part one.
That was good. That was like magic.
That was.
Part one. I like it. It was good. It was good. We'll work
Stay
on it.
tuned for Monday, part 2.
Yes.
Part
We're
2.
gonna. We can't just
Come on.
Give everything all in one.
You gotta.
Hey,
it's
re-tease.
gotta be a little bit of a tease.
You got a
shoulder,
little nip
you know, a little nip slip, or maybe a cleavage slip. You know, the nip slip is the part 2, Hannah.
Can't slip any of the
Yes.
other.
It starts to like lower, and then you're like, oh, commercial.
And
then
you're
just-
what the?
And immediately, it's a nip slip in the next part 2. It
Maybe,
gets there.
maybe. Come back.
We'll let you know.
And with
we're
that,
going.
Yep.
What episodes Bill Burr Breaking Bad? I did the car wash one first, then I did the one with
Breaking Bad.
Lavelle Crawford, where the guy drops the oranges and bangs his head. And I got to be in Saul Goodman's office, which was crazy because I was such an insane fan of that show. I probably got in, I think, 2-3 seasons in, and I remember going in to Saul Goodman's office where he had the Injustice for All, whatever he had, We the People of the Constitution thing above his desk. I felt like I got sucked into my TV. It was incredible. And I did the train robbery, and I got to drive that big dump truck. And I remember the stunt guy was like nervous, going like, well, you don't know what you're doing. I go, well, I'm only going half a mile an hour. I just let the clutch out and give it gas. I was young. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know if I answered your question. I mean, I'm sure it's on IMDb. Look, am I your secretary? What made Bill Burr
Famous.
What made Bill Burr famous? What made me famous? 30 years on the road, 7 specials. I mean, I was definitely a ham and egger. I was not, so you can see, blessed in the looks department. You know what's funny? I did a movie one time, and we
30
were shooting
years on the
outside.
road?
You know, on like 3 different occasions on that shoot, someone would drive by and be like, hey, Bill Burr, go fuck yourself. And I'd be like, hey, how you doing? What helicopter does Bill Burr fly? Like most people who learn to fly helicopters, I started off with Robinsons, and then I wanted to move up, and I was just like, these things are expensive as hell. And fortunately, there's this company called Cabri that makes the gimbal Cabri G2 for all you non-helicopter pilots. It's a 3-bladed system. It's a baby A-Star, which is what the police and news people fly. I've rented them and stuff like that, the bigger ones. And I just fly like a little 2-seater. So it's funny, whenever I fly a bigger one, I'm always paranoid that the door's open because I'm used to the door touching me as I'm sitting there flying. What is Bill Burr like in real life? I am an inquisitive person. I try to stay just ahead of my depression. And if I'm learning something new, it's exciting, it's challenging, it's embarrassing because I'm making mistakes, but I don't have to listen to the demons. It shuts them up, okay? They start talking around 11:15, 11:16 every night.
Take a pill.
That's when the booze used to come. Not anymore, though. Next one. There we go.
Okay. Remember? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Sorry.
He was talking about his show that we could not record.
I
No, they took
know.
all of our
Bill.
God, that sucked.
They
He was
locked
hilarious.
him.
They did. They locked him. That was not a good time.
It wasn't even like you could like fake lock it. It was just like
It was straight up locked. Unless I had scissors on me to cut it open.
it was not good.
It wasn't great. No,
But
he,
the special was great.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah,
he
yeah.
was
Being
fantastic.
deprived. If you want to feel like, reassure yourself that you're not connected to your phone, go to a comedy show.
And then you realize you are connected to your damn phone.
And then
Yeah.
you're like, I need help.
Yeah.
Literally, you're like, did I lose a limb?
It's
Like,
God.
that's what it
And
feels like.
you're gonna keep it. It's just in a locked pouch.
Yes.
Which is hilarious.
Don't lock it from me.
Well, and then like we were like you were talking to people and like connecting and making, new frenzies, but you're not real.
Yeah.
I can't find you.
They're like, hey, come to this bar. And I'm like,
Well,
I
now
don't
I'm
know
not
where
going to
that's
remember.
at. I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
can't write it down.
Yeah.
Thanks to this theater.
Pull out a typewriter.
Yeah,
Should have
literally.
pulled up my notepad. Yeah, slide.
This is cool though. Like
It's interesting.
it's very
too.
interesting
Okay.
because it's like all we have seen is clips, bits of him, in his specials and stuff like that. So this is kind of cool. It's like it's like an interview, He's
Yeah.
like having a conversation about,
Yeah.
questions that people, which is interesting that these are what people have searched.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I would have ever searched a single one of those things.
Yeah. He's
None of
famous
them.
because I know his name. Like
He's funny.
If you know somebody's name,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's almost like a household name.
literally.
Just
Which
saying.
is funny though because I didn't know who he was until we started doing it.
Really?
Literally.
Not really.
I mean,
Yeah.
But then remember when Lydia was an asshole and
Well,
was like,
when?
"Who is that?" And
Oh.
we're like, it's fucking Bill Burr.
oh.
She was like, "Oh."
I'm not really good placing.
Stay tuned for that blooper.
That was a
Yeah,
good blooper. That blooper will come. We'll hashtag it Bill Burr.
Yeah,
soon.
it was
Yeah.
not one of my finer moments, but it was a moment. It was one of my moments. Yeah. We'll hashtag Bill Burr that.
Also, it's fun to see when celebrities are like, I was having like a celebrity crush moment, or a, oh my gosh moment, because you're like, oh yeah, they are people,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They
They
are.
have people that they look up to, or things that it's like if we.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, for me, like if I went on a Harry Potter set or something, it'd be like, I got Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Or like Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
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 It's
But
the
there's
same thing
like
for them.
Yeah.
But it's like you're famous, you shouldn't have those moments, but they're people,
Yeah.
so
They can.
they do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's interesting. They're more than likely able to kind of like fulfill those versus us plebes down here. Like, no shot I'm meeting a single one of my icons.
Yeah.
Which would be like,
Yeah.
you know, and it's funny because like,
You can meet the knockoff Harry Potters.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, though, it's like they are real people, but they're also famous. So the odds that they're
Yeah.
going to actually meet, case in point,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some of the people that they're like fangirling over,
Yeah.
is like way more likely than us. So
That's true. That's true. But I mean, Harry Mack said her name.
they
so-
age that. He said immediately yes.
That
so
was,
thank you, Age Man.
That
Test,
was,
test.
yeah.
Test,
That was
please.
pretty up there.
It
When's
was.
he coming back?
All right.
I know.
That would be fun.
Okay.
We're ready
Okay.
to
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
Do
do
you
it.
get
Do
paid?
you get paid as like a hand model like back in the day? When is Bill Burr gonna shut up? No. When is Bill Burr going on tour? Great question. I just started up my umpteenth thousandth tour this year, and this is my favorite hour and a half that I've been doing on stage. I'm getting ready to do a special. It's unbelievable amount of fun to be on the road right now because there's so much serious stuff going on. People need to laugh and they need something silly. Actually, if there's any comedians watching, if you're feeling the gloom that most of us feel, go on stage and just try to be a little silly. It actually makes you lighter. I can't explain it. When did Bill Burr move to LA? I moved here with my lovely wife in September 2007. And 2 weeks later, I bought a Prius. I just went all in. When did Bill Burr start comedy? I started comedy in March of 1992, 32 years ago. I started at Nick's Comedy Stop. I started in Boston. I've always believed that I have lived a charmed life because what are the odds that I wanted to be a stand-up comedian and I was living in Boston, the greatest stand-up comedy scene in the country, I feel, and it just had absolute murderer's row of headlining comics there that you could learn from. Kevin Knox, Frank Santarelli, Steve Sweeney, Don Gavin, Tony V, Bob Seibel, Rich Seisler, all of these guys. They all had their different own styles. Kenny Rogerson, Mike Donovan. One of the best things about starting out in Boston was you knew what killing was. Where I went down to this tri-state area and I saw some of those city comics and people like that. Oh, dude, I slayed, I killed. And I remember thinking, like, I mean, you had a good set. I wouldn't say you killed. You went Nazi Tuesday night at Nick's Comedy Stop killing. All right. Here we go. How did Bill Burr end up on The Mandalorian? I ended up on The Mandalorian through Jon Favreau, who listened to my podcast, used to always hear me making fun of Star Wars, and thought it was funny. Ended up meeting him at a mutual friend's birthday party. He goes, you know, there's a part in there that we're writing right now and we think you would be good for it. And I was like, you know, John, I got to be honest with you. I always kind of make fun of Star Wars. Not in a malicious way. It's just I just see people really enjoying something and I just know, well, that's an easy hit. If I make fun of it, I can really just watch them get upset. And, you know, it fills up my day for whatever reason. He goes, no. He goes, I know. I've heard it. I think it's hilarious. I think your fans would think it was funny if you were on this show. By then, you know, my better half, Nia, was kicking me under the table. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Aww. So I get down there, and the first scene I'm doing, I'm in a spaceship. And I'm the only guy that looks like a person. Everybody else has all this crazy makeup on. And I'm sitting in there, and I literally feel like I'm in the Muppets Take Manhattan. So we're going to rehearse the scene, and I'm trying not to laugh. The actors were so amazing, that all went away. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get my ass kicked in this. And I was totally locked in, and I ended up having a great time. John showed me a trailer of the first season of The Mandalorian. My jaw was on the ground because it was like a spaghetti western. It would look like Clint Eastwood was doing Star Wars. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I almost stuck my foot in my mouth and didn't get in this. And it's one of my favorite things I've ever done in my career. And I will say Star Wars fans are cool as hell. Okay, there we go. I'm getting a little defensive.
Oh, this is fun. I'm just saying I didn't know. Okay, so James has this unique talent. Oh. I would say it's a talent because I didn't know anyone else that can do it.
What was that sound?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. He can literally pick an episode. He'll be like, season 2, episode 10. This scene, this person is now the main character in this other series. Yeah. And I'm like, no shot.
Yeah, because men have useless knowledge.
And IMDb and a minute later, and he's like, yup.
Yeah.
So, like, whenever he's like, I was in The Mandalorian, I was in Breaking Bad, I'm like, hey, excuse me, what? Yeah. I watched the first season of Mandalorian. I don't remember that.
I know you're in Bad Dads. Bad Dads?
Breaking Bad.
Bad Dads?
Bad
Dads? Daddy?
No, not even that. See? Yeah,
no,
he's in.
What was he in?
Right there.
A most recent one. Bad Dads?
What
I don't know if we believe anything she's saying.
Bill Burr dad movie. Old dads.
Old
Not
dads.
even close. You had the dad's part.
And I had bad, but old. So it's
and
a 3-letter.
Daddy in there.
Hey.
Yeah, daddy was not good. It's like Bill Burr, daddy.
I can't call him daddy.
Nia might call him daddy, but we're not Nia, so we need to keep it PG here.
Gross. Oh, God.
Okay, this is fun. This is like not the questions I would have Googled.
No.
I think what would have been your first question after we watched our first Bill Burr? What would have been your first Google question if you were to even Google? I don't typically.
Is
Google,
Bill Burr a redhead?
I mean, he has a
because
red
he has
beard.
no hair.
He has a red beard.
How would you know?
But
would that be your
How
first?
would you know?
That would be your.
That would be your
Google?
That's your one.
Yeah, because she's a redhead,
question.
so she's like, let me see if you're my type.
Because it's like a brown.
Yeah. It's a mud brown. It's something. It's something else. Leela, what would be your first question? I grazed over it.
And then she's moving on. She's done with you.
I'm done with you.
I think I would be, where does he perform, like, most of the time? I think that's what I would care about.
Where does he live?
No, perform.
Like performance. Like tours.
Like where does he always go to?
Yeah.
Like where's his main stop?
You know?
You know?
Okay, let's be honest. You were just immediately like, Bill Burr tickets, and then
Literally,
We'll show you.
which I did. After we watched him, I was like, I want to watch him. Where does he
Yeah.
go?
Live.
it was so good live.
It was.
It was. I
good
wish we
live.
could have recorded it more. That sucked.
I mean, I get it,
Yeah.
but I
Yes.
don't.
Yeah.
You know, they basically asked me for my arm, and I gave it to them.
Yeah.
Well, see,
yeah.
and that's where Matt, when he only posts those, like audience interactions to save his material, so you do go. But he's just so funny on the quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so
I like
quick.
that quick. Yeah.
I know.
It's good.
What did you Google?
Mine,
What did you Google?
mine was tour.
Yeah.
If I was like after watching him, if I thought he was funny, which we thought he was funny, I would immediately be like, "Where is he going on tour?" Like, so it's just crazy to me. But that also gives you another idea about how much people know about his life. They're asking about what do you fly. When did you
Yeah.
move to LA? I didn't even know he lived in, you know, like
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a little creepy. It's a little creep town. You know,
What?
Are you a redhead?
Stop it.
Let me see your pubes.
Stop it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when you are a famous person,
everyone wants to know every detail of your life.
Yes.
yes,
And I respect that to a certain extent, I guess.
We know how it is.
We're so
Absolutely not.
not.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess, you know, whatever. But okay, we're cutting it off.
well, I know you have to
cutting it
come back
off.
on Monday for part
Come
2.
back.
You're coming back. It's gonna look like we haven't moved. But it is part 2, so just keep
Just
watching.
roll with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as always, please like, comment, subscribe. We know you keep coming back, so go ahead and just
Come on back,
subscribe.
honey.
You know what's great is YouTube has this capability of unsubscribing. So why don't you
Yeah. So if you get annoyed,
subscribe and you get annoyed with us, even though we're amazing, you can just unsubscribe. But you keep coming back, so you might as well
Smash it
smash that
with
button.
a hammer.
Yes.
Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
Do your research.
All right.
Love
And
you
until
Maybe.
next time.
Bye.
bye.